Nick, you know you can also click points on the screen to focus on them?
Yeah. So me and Quinn are out birding, and we found a turtle. And we decided, since we have our cameras, we decided to take some photos of it. And Quinn had the great idea of putting it on a hill.
It's like 5 feet away. It's not a big hill. It's like a mound and dirt. Nick and I are here in New Hampshire. Also, about the last video, Nick and I accidentally got stuff mixed up. But I did have the rarest bird in New York. It was a redneck phalarope. And we'll do a video on that. It might come out next week. I was telling Nick back when we were like maybe 67 subscribers, we should do like something where our fans are named Peep. Nick and I have like a Google slide we create everything on. And on that Google slide, there's gonna be a Peep for each subscriber.
Tomorrow morning, we plan on going to the woods.
Yep.
And go do birding stuff, like the channel name implies. None of this fishing stuff. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but you should check out the fishing videos on the channel. They're actually pretty good. Quinn's gonna...
Car incoming! Just do it.
Guys, so the idea right now is to head down to this little swamp pond area and get there before the sun is fully up.
This is a video on how to like identify birds of southern New Hampshire. We'll be like walking around and we'll be showing you birds and like how to ID them. And even if like you're like an expert or really good level birder, we'll still be giving out good tips everyone should know. We just saw a woodcock.
Oh, that was right there. He was right
Peeps.
there in the water.
There was a woodcock. Waterfrush just located. So this is where our first birding skill comes in, is knowing how your birds behave. Louisiana waterfrush and northern waterfrush, they often like bounce their body up and down.
Yeah.
So guys, we just used bird's behavior to figure out the bird we just saw. Nick had called out a woodcock in like the middle of the trail. We think it's the same bird we had like a couple seconds later. I saw a waterfrush fly up, down, then up into a tree, then started bobbing on a branch. Which probably means it was northern waterfrush, because if you look at our habitat, you can also use habitat to figure out what your bird is. Even though it's migration, we're like next to very still water. And it's kind of swampy, there are pickerel in here. So that's usually the habitat you want for northern waterfrush. We'll show you our next bird, how we found it, how we used like different things to ID it. For that one we used behavior and location, which is a very good way of doing it. He's jumping for it, boys. Little toad.
Toad. Toad.
He's getting away. Nick and I hear a bird calling right now. It's a pretty easy call, so you'll probably be able to ID it. That whiny was a catbird. It's not a hard call, but it's definitely very useful to know when you're out looking for birds, because you hear them a lot. I'm running audio.
Oh. It was definitely rusty.
So we think we just found a rusty blackbird.
My first fall rusty blackbird of the year.
Or it's a boat-tailed grackle.
Well, according to the lady on eBirds, it's a boat-tailed grackle.
But, so I got some audio recordings, which is something else you need to do when you're birding. If you can't understand or identify a bird call, it's usually good to get an audio recording and go through some calls later and figure out what the bird is.
That was definitely rusty though. I had a good look at it from this angle, and I could see blotches of brown mixed in with black.
Yeah, that's kind of what I saw.
And it wasn't big. It was decent sized, but it wasn't big. It was only about like that big, which is pretty good for a rusty blackbird.
Yep. Alright, on to the next thing. Alright. Hi guys, I'm on a log stuck. This has happened quite a few on our birding. There's a pickerel on the trail according to Nick, because the water's so deep. Ah!
Get a photo.
I'm getting it on video. So guys, there's a big beaver.
I'm getting the crappiest photos because it's so dark out.
Nick, look at my camera. Oh, come on. It started out focusing. Here's another thing when you're out birding. Look for other animals too. It's just as fun. Beavers are really cool. It's in the middle of the trail. It may not look like it, but if I look down, so that's really cool. Whenever you're out birding, appreciate whatever else is out there. Beavers are a really cool mammal. So guys, we just had a veery. It's back there. You might be able to see it. Yep. I think that's the veery. And then we had some catbirds up here, and what I think was a great-crested flycatcher.
Which we originally thought was the rusty blackbird. We thought we were 8 feet away from a rusty blackbird. It wasn't the rusty blackbird. The rusty blackbird's probably back in the brush more, way down.
Yeah.
But it's hard to identify birds right now because the light's back
on that
there,
side.
but there's no light where we are right now. So the birds are just a dark shadow, so you can only identify off a silhouette, which is
hard.
Kind of tough.
Oh,
warbler. That's a warbler. Wait, is that a water thrush?
Yes, that might be a water thrush, which is a warbler. We just heard a whoop on our left.
That's a flycatcher of some kind.
There's an owl getting mobbed right now. Nick and I hear a wren calling. We think they're a winter wren because gotta also use past experience. We go here a lot, we get winter wrens, and another thing is, up north we saw a bunch of winter wrens calling to each other, so we kind of memorized the call. So using past experiences is also really good for trying to ID your bird.
Yeah, so we just confirmed that we did have a screech owl getting mobbed by blue jays.
Which is another way you can ID birds, how the other birds are like reacting around it. Because if you're like in the middle of a swamp, right, or just like flooded area, there's a bunch of, what was that? Oh, I think that was a winter wren.
Yeah.
But if you're in like the middle of like a marsh, there's like a flat sandbar, and all the birds spook up, like every single one, and it's not just a flock moving. An owl or a hawk or harrier probably just flew by, so you got to keep your eyes on the sky. So, based how other birds behave, you can figure out what the bird you're looking at is. We might do a video on that.
Top of the oak.
Pine warbler?
I'm pressing steady on the trigger.
Yeah, you can hear pine warblers calling right now, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, but it's...
We're exploring out here. Over there we just got another bird. Belted kingfisher, you can hear it now. It perched up on one of the snags over there. I think it's behind like this island thing.
Oh, I know it's great.
We just heard another bird by ear. It was the eastern towhee. Another way to identify birds is based on the like surroundings. Like you can see an osprey nest up here, so you might be able to find ospreys. This doesn't, and this is pretty good osprey habitat, like a marsh. Oh yeah, there's cattails. Are there phragmites? I think I see. No, these are all cattails, right?
Yeah, there shouldn't be any phragmites.
That's really good. Plum Island isn't
native. I mean, I'm sure there's some that I don't know that are invasive, but...
No, this all looks like cattail, Nick.
Flycatcher. I got a flycatcher.
Nick, this is all cattail. Nick just got his lifer, the American bitter end.
Out of this bog, we just spent like, I don't know, 15 minutes looking for one. We walked up here and Quinn heard one. So I like barely heard
I just heard it again.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's be quiet and see if it calls again.
So, another way you can identify them. They kind of sound like pipes. American bitter end, so I think that's cool. I'll end this segment. This is Herping with Nick and Quinn here. And we just found a red up. This is big. Newt.
Red F, Eastern Newt. It's not focusing. red Fs. I don't see them a lot, so it's cool. And that's your lifer Newt too. I totally forgot that you didn't have Newt on your life list.
Alright, so do I explain it right here, Nick?
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about the eastern newt and like, I don't know too much about herping. Nick knows more. Would you like to explain, Nick?
Alright. So we walked past this mushroom and there were 3 orange things under there and I'm like, hey, that's kind of weird. Are those red Fs? And sure enough, there were 3 of them chilling under there. They're trying to go, but we tried to put them back under the mushroom, but they don't really want to cooperate. So.
If they went under, then back out. Want to go back in there, buddy?
Yeah, he's going back in there. The other one, though, the other one is...
Yeah, I'll put them back in. Oh yeah, they don't even want to be under their mushroom now.
No, not really.
Alright, so I won't bother them any longer if they don't want to be under there. Want to keep explaining about the red Fs, Nick?
Yeah, so basically, they go through different stages. They have a bright orange phase, then they have a brown phase, and then they have a adult phase, and it takes about 6 years to fully transform for them. They get pretty big too. They get about like 6 inches max, and it's a pretty crazy transformation because they go from this little rough newt to this really slimy looking thing that has to stay in the water.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I've caught all 3 stages before, but this is the only red F I've ever seen besides these 3 is like that big.
Are the red Fs the rarest?
No, they're actually pretty common. Like you can see them in the 300s.
Bird fallout right now. There's a ton of warblers, parla. You just heard the parla. But when you're in a big swarm like this, you gotta concentrate really hard. Make sure you're not letting them down. There's a pine warbler up in this tree. Nick just found a black and white. These are a really good example of identifying birds for behavior because they crawl like a nuthatch. So if you ever see like a black and white bird behaving like a nuthatch, it's kind of like a good sign it's a black and white warbler. Oh my god, Nick, get on this bay-breasted. Oh, there's a red start?
Where's the bay-breasted?
Bay-breasted. I may have confused the two, but I swear.
Oh, what's this? Red-eyed vireo.
Okay, we're getting on a lot of birds right here. This is a really good warbler spot. When you're in good warbler spots, you kind of want to be very concentrated. Boss Nick. It's really good. Was that a grass drumming? I don't think so. So in the kind of spots where you're in a bunch of birds, kind of like stay low. Don't move too much unless you're like repositioning. And just kind of look around, see what's up there. Like
Yeah, I think you can only hold them a couple times with the fishing, and then they get sick of it. Oh my god, I love that photo.
Black for the green.
Cute! Look at how cute it is!
So, another thing when you're birding is make sure you take a bunch of photos, because you might really, if you have a camera, you'll probably really enjoy taking photos. I guess be aware, like when you're walking, make sure you can hear everything.
And Quentin just somehow spotted a tiny little warbler.
Yeah, so just be alert.
And there was a small flock of black-throated greens, and I literally just said I wanted to get a photo of a black-throated green. We had one come 5 feet away from us. That was more like 8 feet, but I mean, I still got really nice shots.
Yeah. Another thing is, like, best way to find a bird is not, like, scanning can work, like, if you're on a salt pan, but if you're out in the forest, movement is by far the best thing to look for. And if you're using your camera...
Oh, I just saw something right here. Wow.
Use, like, the eyepiece. Oh, nice. And, like, don't have it all the way zoomed in. Have it zoomed out so you can see what you have to zoom in on. Another big thing is remember which tree your bird is on.
Okay, we're recording.
Alright, so we just found a painted turtle in the middle of the road. You have to hold them like this, otherwise they'll... Oh my god, mosquito. You gotta hold them like a hamburger. Otherwise, they can't breathe properly. Nick, that's too close. It won't focus.
No. Oh no, I got the focus
like
now.
This. Nick almost stepped on it. He steps on a lot of reptiles, but
I never step on them. I'm just close to stepping on them.
so this is really cool. He's in a shell. I think that's really nice. But it snuck up on us so fast. I don't know how that happened.
So that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Herping with Nick and Quinn.
Here's its back. Here's its belly. Valley.
Oh yeah, show the viewers.
Herping channel. We've been seeing a lot of herps today. And
It's a good day all around.
put him on the ground. He was going that way, so I'm not going to put him towards the lake because he probably wants something over there.
Yeah, he might be going toward Parker Pond, that big swamp over there.
We'll see what he does. I'll put him on the ground, see what he wants to. I don't know how he, like, did that. Dude, you're good.
Alright. I think I'm done photo.
Big bitch just happened. Tree fell.
It wasn't like this when we got here.
Nick, the tree, remember I was pretending to push apart the tree. Was this the one, right? Oh, everyone, we're at Woodmont today, or still the same day. So, there are a bunch of spotted swallows flying in. It's really good to know, like, what shapes common birds have, because... Oh, nice, yeah, a bunch of monarchs. You gotta keep your eyes out for those. But I feel like for...
One of them.
Like, something important to know is for, like, common birds is, like, how they act in their shape. So, like, even though I might only see the silhouette of... Oh, Nick, what's... Oh, wait, no, yeah, that's another barn swallow. That struck me as off. But as long as you know, like, the silhouette and how they move, I may only see the silhouette of a mourning dove, but I'll be able to ID it in flight. So it's very useful for identifying really common birds. And if something seems off, you should like, target that bird and see if it's a rarity. And that's a really good way of finding rarities. I was able to do that. I found the red-necked phalarope. Because it took the normal shape as a shore bird, but it was all white, which is off, and it landed on water. Really good way to identify barn swallows is they like these open fields. Tree swallows also go out here, but especially barn swallows, often seen out here. Best way to ID them though is their stomach color. They have like more orange and yellow, while tree sparrows have like a clean stomach. We'll keep going down this way. Yeah, let's go down here. So that's basically how you identify barn swallows. Nick and I are seeing a bunch of swallows, so another swallow you might see mixed in with the barn swallows is the northern roughwing. They're brown, and I think they have a clean stomach too, right, Nick?
Yeah, they should have a clean,
Yeah, they should have a
stomach.
clean like stomach.
Keep in mind, out here though, Glenn,
Bank swallows.
bank swallows are very possible. This is where I got my first ever bank swallow. There's a giant bullfrog tadpole right there.
Oh!
Ring.
Nick and I just saw a common yellow throat. Big things you need to know for a common yellow throat. They kind of look like a chat. Like the brownish color on the back, yellow.
It actually might have been in Nashville. I'll go through the
No,
photos
it's
later
not.
and find out.
But another really big thing about the common yellow throat is you gotta look near like these brushlands.
Swallow.
Okay. You gotta look in these brushy areas because like often I see them like flickering around in here. Not just brushy areas, you can see them in a forest. But these brushy areas, like low vegetation, they love it.
Oh, this is where I got my first indigo. How many are there?
I saw 4 killdeers. Oh my god!
There's a ton of them.
So, another thing you have to look out when you're birding is sandpipers in flight and plovers in flight look a lot like swallows because like they arc their wings back.
That one piece of corn left in the middle of the field, I'm getting that. Oh, that looks so cool.
Sole survivor. Another thing when you're birding is not disturbing the wildlife. So Nick and I are gonna, Nick, like sit down so we can like approach them without like disturbing them.
Okay.
So you can get closer when you're low. So that's what Nick and I are gonna try and do. So we're gonna move up to them and we'll show you the shots we get. So once you locate your target again, you might see it just by chance, but you'll probably see a bit of motion. Then you'll re-find your bird. So Nick and I are gonna try to come a little closer without flushing them. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start approaching. Guys, some big news just happened. Nick just got another lifer. It was the Dick Cecil. And I just saw a yellow-billed cuckoo. I've heard them before, never seen them. It was like flying around. Also, big news. There was a bobolink. And these are all kind of like meadow birds. I mean, the cuckoos can be found in meadows, but I'll tell you how to like ID them. I think Nick's really happy about the dick cecil, so I'll let him.
Months looking for that bird last year, and the times you could find it. Nobody has seen it here since August 24th. It's September 4th.
All right, Nick, would you like to talk about the dick cecil? Then I'll talk about the bobolink. I know a lot about the
dick cecil expert. Oh, there goes a bird. Hold on, let's find out what this is.
Nick, you need to tell them what it is.
My Savannah Sparrow Master. Okay, I lost the bird. Anyways, so the dick cecil is a small, it's in the thing of tanagers and allies and stuff like that. It's I actually don't know much about the dick cecil. I just know it's got a sweet name. It looks pretty cool, and it's kind of hard to find. Dick cecils are, though, they're not endangered or threatened. They are on a watch list because they are a grassland species. As you can tell, this is more of a meadow, open grassland type area. I think I see a bird behind Clint. I would like to get some bobolinks on video. I would like to milk this spot for a bobolink video to call it the bird that sounds like R2-D2 or something.
Yeah, they do sound like R2-D2.
But I do agree.
There. So like the bobolink's kind of similar to the dick cecil, around the same size. Usually like in these kind of flat or like fields, especially on Plum Island, they're super threatened because grasslands are like shrinking now and like habitat for them are going away, like a lot of birds. But bobolinks, are they an endangered species or they're definitely threatened?
I believe they're just threatened.
Yeah, oh, grasshopper hit my head. And then bobolinks, they have like a really interesting call that sounds like R2-D2, a bunch of different noises.
Don't forget the fact they're a blackbird.
Yeah, they are a blackbird. They have like a yellowish like back on their head, and they're one of my favorite birds. Really cool. Should definitely try to see them because they're going away. And the final bird was yellow-billed cuckoo, also called the rain crow. You can find them like on forest edges, I guess. They're kind of hard to find. More likely to hear them than see them. So I guess that's pretty cool too. And then you can separate yellow-billed cuckoo from black-billed cuckoo because location. Like I think like inland they're like 3 times more likely to have yellow-billed cuckoos. Right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Or at least in our area. And then another way to ID them is they have like a reddish wing you can see. And then the final way is like the yellow on their bill, of course. And then they also have big white spots below their tail. And the black-billed cuckoo has like small white spots, but the yellow-billed cuckoos have big white spots, which is really important in IDing them. Pretty mantis. Pretty cool.
Alright, it's on.
So I saw like this big grasshopper fly, right? It wasn't a grasshopper, it was a praying mantis.
Not really focusing.
Ready, look at this.
No, it's not gonna focus with it, right? Oh no, it's got it, it's going.
Yeah, look at this. It's an enormous praying mantis. He has like his tweezer.
And this is not the Asian mantis, this is the actual praying mantis. Asian mantis is the brown one.
That's sick, we found it.
That's actually my first praying mantis. I've only seen the Asian mantis.
Well, hop a ride, dude.
That's cool.
Nick and I were just at Woodmont. We saw a few rarities: northern ruffling swallow, bank swallow, dick cecil. Yep. So I want to talk about how you can separate the different swallows. We're looking at a group of barn swallows. So first thing you want to look for is like darker swallows, because barn swallows are like bright orange, or like have like a bright orange stomach. This can be so. Oh my God, hummingbird.
Really?
Oh yeah, look. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
He's looking for food.
Aw, sad. He landed.
Oh, he never does that. Oh, I think that's a she, actually.
Yeah, no.
There's a he and a she that hangs around.
So, back to the point. We're just at Woodmont looking at birds. Oh, nice photo. And I just want to say how to separate the different swallows by like silhouette. When they're flying, the northern ruffling swallows, their wings go parallel to their body, while the barn swallows kind of come at an angle. And then you can tell bank swallows apart because they have a very clean stomach, where it's like a giant band. It's very clean. And that's kind of how you can separate them. And then tree swallows you can tell because they have like their blue back. They fly different. They don't really, I mean they can flap a little, but I think that's pretty good advice on what to do for swallows when birding. If you ever encounter a cliff swallow or a cave swallow, one of those rare ones, you kind of just have to keep looking at them, see which one's smaller, which ones stick out in the group, even if it's like a group of tree swallows. We were able to do this at Cherry Hill to find the cave swallow and cliff swallows. It's pretty useful information. Guys, I got charged by a bat. I'm like, is that a creeper? Something brown hooks onto a tree upside down. Then it charges me and I see it fluttering. And a bat charged us. We're fine though. Unless I get rabies.
Well, I saw the whole flight, so I know we're all fine.
It was big, everyone. Nick and I were out in the yard. We were kind of feeling a little down. Warbler migration was like really high last night. Oh, titmouse. It said it would be really good and like the warblers would have to stop here because like they couldn't go any further. So Nick and I saw a couple warblers from the window, and I climbed up this tree and I spotted a black-footed green. We've had a couple Philadelphia vireos, black and white warblers, parulas. Okay. Oh jeez, I fell. My whole foot sunk. Guys, I'm suffering a problem. So I'm bringing this chair through the swamp because we're gonna do a big set, but like.
Not 12 hours. It's more of a little set.
Little set. I let go of it. Nick, you gotta bring the board.
Oh, hey, I wasn't recording that whole time anyway.
It doesn't matter.
This is what we're walking on. Quinn's suffering the problem of trying to drag things places. I'm suffering the problem of not knowing where the hell I'm stepping, which I believe Quinn is suffering that exact same problem.
Yeah, but I'm going to try clearing the path for you. Look.
Oh, I'm gonna fall off this. Here, I'm at Willow Bush. Support me.
Nick, wait, Nick. Give it to me.
I
Is
got
it still recording?
Yeah. There he is. It's the singer of copyright music himself.
What? It's getting a little shaky out here.
Here he comes.
What's up below?
They're so cooperative and it's a male.
Hi guys, Nick and Quinn here. I was gonna go over another bird lesson because we just found a black-footed green warbler. Just like the black-footed blue warbler. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Just like the black-footed blue warbler, they're very friendly. An important thing to know about the bird you're looking at is their tolerance. Like, as you know, birds like the mourning dove, not very tolerant to people. Birds like European starlings, who are used to city life, very tolerant. Warblers are very skittish, so you gotta be careful when approaching and know their tolerance level. He's on the ground right now.
He is?
Yep. Knowing their tolerance level is very important. Black-footed green is one of the friendliest birds. Extremely tolerant, just like the black-footed blue, and will stay for you. They're very curious about people, which I think is very cool.